Alfonso. Thank you so much for being here with us, and welcome to our show.
Hi, Melody.
Alfonso, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight.
Mark, thank you.
Alfonso, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been an appraiser.
Sure. I hold a certified residential appraiser's license from the state of Nevada. I've been appraising residential properties for about 22 years, a little bit over. I also serve on the Clark County Board of Equalization, which arbitrates appeals between the homeowner and the county assessor.
Oh,
Oh, that's
nice.
huge. How many homeowners actually appeal their taxes every year? Is there a large number? Is it a small number?
No, it's a large number. Actually, this year was less than last year, and we just concluded our session. It just happens once a year.
Right. Is that
January
January through or December through January?
Right, January through March at the
March,
latest is
okay.
when we have the hearings, and then homeowners need to file their appeals by January 18th to be on the docket. This year we had less. We had, I think, only about 6,000 cases. Last year we had 10,000. This year was just a little bit more difficult. I don't know if you read in the news. Last year we lowered property values by over $1 billion. This year the assessor's making that tough because property values, as you know, have increased.
Yes.
So homeowners can expect a higher tax bill.
Oh, okay. So tell us exactly right now, what are the challenges that you're coming across in today's market?
Today's biggest challenge in this market in Las Vegas is the increasing in values and the low levels of inventory that we haven't seen in a long time. So that limits the amount of data that's available for us to put the appraisals together. Increasing values is always a challenge for appraisers. That's when we become popular. That's probably why I'm here. When values were going down, we weren't very popular. The appraisals are based on actual closed sales, okay? One of the ways that I've used to deal with this challenge is, and this might help realtors, homeowners, anyone that's faced with an appraisal that, let's say, doesn't come up to the value of the purchase price. You need to look at the first page of the report. In that area, appraisers are asked to report whether the property values are increasing, decreasing,
Okay.
and if they state that they're increasing, which that's the consensus right now in our market, then you need to look on the second page of the appraisal where the comps are and make sure they're making time adjustments to account for the differences, because we don't always use sales that happen today. We're using sales that happened 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and we know that there's an escrow period before that. So the meeting of the minds could have taken place 6, 7 months ago.
That's very true.
So time adjustments is key, and when I don't see them, when I review reports and I don't see them there and they've checked increasing, appraisers really need to wake up and do that. Today's market, we have a broader selection, so you really shouldn't be seeing too many foreclosed homes as comps.
Okay,
You should
good.
be using arm's length transactions, sales
Okay.
that are where everyone's acting in their own best interest.
I know most homeowners, and rightly so, want to get the maximum for their property when they sell it. What could a homeowner do to actually increase the value of their home? I mean, what types of things do you give value to, I guess is the correct question.
Well, square footage is the number one, so make sure the square footage is correct. If there's any additions or garage conversions, things of that nature, make sure that square footage is correct and accounted for.
Okay.
That's number one, it's paramount. Condition is important to everyone, and the appraiser is no exception to that. He will note the condition. Upgrades are another big thing. We do pay attention to the upgrades in a home. So if the homeowner has those, make sure they point that out. Make sure they point out things that we're not going to see, like if they've made any changes to the mechanical systems in the home. They've replaced the heating and cooling system, electrical, plumbing. Things of that nature aren't readily observable. So make sure that the appraiser is aware of any new pieces of equipment or improvements that have been made to the home.
Good advice.
Yeah. A lot of times right now with short sales, the home buyer and the home seller, put in an offer, they submit it to the bank for that short sale approval, and from the time the approval is given back to them, it's about 4 to 6 months later on in some cases. What happens in this case of the appraisal coming in? Do you see it coming in lower, higher? Do you make adjustments because of the length of time, or?
Well, it depends on the scenario, but on a timeline, let's say that these folks put in a short sale offer 4 months ago back in our market.
Okay.
Shouldn't have any problems with value today because the values are increasing. But I have heard putting in offers currently, the banks are saying it's worth more.
Right.
In that scenario, there's a disagreement on the value. I would recommend that the homeowner get an appraisal to present to the bank and say, here's the appraisal, this is what a professional said. Because banks may be looking at desktop valuations, they're not necessarily getting professional appraisals. It depends.
Okay.
But that would be key.
Like a BPO or something.
A BPO, which isn't
right.
the same as an appraisal. You know.
Right. Okay. So is that something that the homeowner or a lender can rebuttal? But that's what I guess what I'm saying is that when, let's say for example, you submit an offer for $100,000, you as an appraiser or the lender comes back and says the value is $120,000. Now what? Right?
Yeah.
4 to 6 months later on, the value is higher. And
well, if you just submitted the offer and that's the scenario, then when the disagreement happens, that's when I would say get an appraisal and try to settle the argument that way.
Okay. Okay. So, Alfonso, tell our viewers out there how they can get a hold of you. I know we do have a lot of realtors that watch the show. We have many lenders as well as our homeowners. How can they get a hold of you if they like an appraisal?
Well, I'm pretty well known here. I've been here since 1992, but I'm easy to find on the internet under Camino Appraisal Services. That's Camino, C-A-M-I-N-O, Appraisal Services. You can find me on the web pretty easy.
Okay.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you,
Very
Mark.
informative.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's
Mark.
been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
If you would like to submit your questions to us pertaining to the real estate industry, please email them to info@homesweethometv.com and make sure to put questions on your subject line. And if your question is chosen, we will answer them on our next show.
Stay tuned for our next segment and get real tips from our guest attorney, David Whittemire.
Keeping or buying a home in Las Vegas is no longer an easy task. You need someone who has local experience, integrity, and dedication to help you. O48 Realty has helped Las Vegas families in need for the past 10 years. It is a team of real estate professionals with a proven track record.
Hi, if you're looking for a fresh start and keep your home, or if you're looking for the best value in a new home in Las Vegas, please call us now.
O48 Realty, a local company you can lean on in bad or good times.